Hey guys, what's up and welcome to this. This is your New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong edition number 26 / February the 5th, 2021 review show. I'm your host LK. Apologies, this one isn't live streaming. I was actually attempted to stream a minute ago and the OBS software that I'm using just literally crashed. I saw it literally, that's what, if you were one of the three people hanging out and you literally just heard me go, oh shit, don't worry, nothing bad happened to me. Just the OBS software that I use wasn't a fan of the streaming key. But we move. That's what we do on this channel, we move. And we're here to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong show. Again, as I said, I'm LK. Win, loss, tie. Please feel free to put in the comments your thoughts and opinions on this week's show. I'm going to give this show a weak win. It's one of the, obviously last week with what happened with Jon Moxley and Kenta now feuding for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship, which will be coming up at the New Beginning USA show on February the 26th, part of the weekly New Japan Strong series, if you will. If you're new to New Japan Strong, it's basically a weekly episodic show that airs every Friday, similar to a Dynamite, similar to an Impact, similar to a Raw, NXT, etc. You guys get the picture. And last week, Jon Moxley and Kenta. So this show there was some build up for that with an interview with Jon Moxley, which was fun. There was some great wrestling on here. Overall, I'm going to give this show a win. I haven't watched much of the New Japan Strong, and I will admit that. But starting from this week, especially during this New Beginning tour, full coverage each and every Saturday right here on the SOS Wrestling Network. And if you're listening in audio, on the Wrestling 25 Years Ago podcast platforms. But we're here to talk about the show. And this is an interesting one. Now, I took some notes because I was thinking, maybe I'll go on with Dion, but Dion's got UFC tonight, and I hope he has a great time watching that. And I had some kind of notes that I took previously before actually putting on the show. And that is, I wonder, and I'm going to get Dion's opinion on this when we do the New Japan Road to New Beginning Japan show, which takes place on February the 8th, live on NJPW World. There'll be a review of that, will be on that night, so looking forward to breaking that show down with Dion. But I'm just wondering what the viewership, and there's no way for us to be able to actually and statistically find this out because it's not available for us, and that is the viewership figures in Japan. How many Japanese viewers are there of New Japan Strong? I'd find that very, because imagine if there was a high amount of viewership, and then when some of these guys come over, they're going to get a good pop, crowd are going to be into them. I really hope that in Japan, people actually do watch this every single week, and also wouldn't be remiss if because we haven't done a show since then, because obviously if you haven't checked out, by the way, we did the 3 Korakuen Hall shows, which took place Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We reviewed all of them for you guys to enjoy, so go back and check them out if you have not done so already. And New Japan have announced that they're going to have a weekly show Thursday 5 p.m. on Roku, which is available in USA, Canada, and over here in jolly old England in the UK. So that's great. If you have Roku, you can watch New Japan. I think it's just going to be action that's been taking place on tours, which either way is still good exposure for the company. So, commentary team is Kevin Kelly and Alex Kozlov, and I'm going to say this right now. I'm a fan of this team, but most importantly, Kevin Kelly. All right, I enjoyed his work in Ring of Honor with Nigel McGuinness. I really enjoyed his work with Steve Corino, and then he came full-time over to New Japan. And I enjoyed him, but there was a point in 17, 18, 19 where I would exclusively watch Japanese commentary. Whether that's just because I was new to Japanese wrestling and the commentary kind of was just so part of the experience that I wanted to get the full experience, so I watched with Japanese commentary. But now I watch New Japan and immediately the first thing I do is look to see if there's English commentary because I love Kevin Kelly. And I particularly loved him with El Phantasmo. I enjoy him with Rocky. I really, really enjoy him with ELP, as I said, and I'd love to see at the New Beginning shows. I know ELP is wrestling on some of those shows, but I'd love to see Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton, and El Phantasmo. That would be my favourite announced team. And even Kevin Kelly doing solo at the Korakuen, really enjoyable, really great commentary, really enjoying him. He's probably my favourite commentator right now in pro wrestling, generally. Anyway, we're here to talk about the show. So we have Kevin Knight versus the DKC, first match of the show. Young Lions action from the LA Dojo. And we touched upon this during mine and Dion's show last night, or could have been the night before. We were doing some show, and we touched upon how the Young Lions matches are such a great way to kick off the show because the fundamental basics, and you know what you're going to get, and it's always solid and good. And speaking of solid and good, Kevin Knight, his guy's in great shape. He could get away with being a junior heavyweight, but I think heavyweight will be the way forward for him because this guy's in really, really great shape. Also, the DKC is now in traditional Young Lions gear. Black boots, black trunks, nothing else. Which probably means he's now full-time at the dojo, which is really cool. This match was pretty solid, a Japanese-style Young Lion dojo match. You guys know the drill. A triangle choke from the DKC got the win. One thing I also liked is the ring announcer giving time remaining every few minutes, which I don't know why I've always enjoyed that, even going back to watching old school NWA. It's just that time limit and the countdown I really, really do enjoy. And DKC could be a really fun junior heavyweight. I really could see him doing some good stuff. And hopefully once this pandemic, touch wood, is all done, dusted and over with, we can have lots of these LA Dojo guys, you know, touring with the New Japan, I would say main roster, but it's really not fair to say main roster. It's really not fair. But the idea of having kind of these guys come over, do a tour and come back, and especially when New Japan Strong can tour, I'm not expecting them to do big buildings like Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Dynamite. I'm not expecting big buildings like that, but just, you know, like Ring of Honor-esque type buildings, full, jam-packed with a good crowd, and hopefully it'll be fun. Then we have an interview with Kevin Kelly and Jon Moxley to promote the match on February the 26th, part of the New Japan New Japan New Beginning show. Apologies, it's very late. I've been up all day. It's nearly midnight here in the UK. This is my third podcast of the day. So if I'm a bit all over the gaff, my apologies. I just wanted to get this review out because tomorrow me and Dion are doing the Giant Bubba 23rd anniversary of his death memorial show, which is going to be a real fun one, and I'm pretty much finished watching that show, and it's a really fun show and recommend people to check that out. Back to this. Moxley, Kevin Kelly. Moxley says that Kenta he wants to see isn't the Bullet Club one. He wants to see the Kenta of old. Everybody used to, and I quote, everybody used to steal his shit, and he inspired a generation. Really good promo. No promotion of the tag match coming up on Dynamite, which is very, very interesting. I thought they were going to at least do like a match graphic to kind of promote it, but we're not on that happy terms yet. And I'm going to do a show with Dion about the AEW and New Japan relationship with an asterisk next to it, just because we're going to give our thoughts. And I don't want to give them out now if we're going to be doing a full-length podcast, and I don't want to be that guy who's you guys going to have to listen to us repeat. But yeah, it's very interesting, very exciting times. But Kenta will be on Dynamite next week, and I'm actually going to watch AEW Dynamite this week. I kind of took after a busy catching up on the 25 years ago series, which me and Brad have done now, so we're all fully caught up. I didn't really have much time to watch NXT and Dynamite, but this week I'm going to make sure I watch Dynamite and NXT for you guys to enjoy a review of. But I'm looking forward to the match. Hopefully next week we hear a Kenta promo, kind of countering what Jon Moxley said, but overall good solid stuff. Speaking of good stuff, we had Barrett Brown, Brody King and the Regal Twins against Adrian Quest, Bateman, Jordan Clearwater and Mysterioso. Now this Bateman, he's dark. When I mean dark, I mean his character. He's a very dark character, kind of a goth. He has contact lenses in his eyes. Evil-esque type attitude, but more very, very sadistic type. I can't really describe it. It's just a mixture of so many evil characters, which I think is great. I cannot wait. This is one of the first times I've seen him, and I fucking loved it. I really did. And I want to see him versus Brody King. You know, two fucking guys going at it with sadistic, vicious characters, and it would just be so fun. Also, I don't know if you guys got this vibe, but Adrian Quest kind of gave me Kushida vibes, kind of just by his gear, the way he wrestled. That's interesting. But for sure, Quest and Barrett Brown, two future IWGP junior heavyweights, in my opinion. I wouldn't even be surprised if they're both up, and they won't be because obviously the pandemic and it's a bit too soon. But maybe next year, 2022, if these guys stay with the promotion, over for the Best of Super Juniors, or even late this year, part of the Super Junior Tag League. not league, tag, Super Junior tag. That could be quite fun. Also, you had Jordan Clearwater in there. WWE vibes. You can picture Vince staring at him, looking him up and down, licking them lips, going, he's tall, he's big, he stands out in his team, which Vince would automatically fucking love. There was this really sick spot. They started off really solid, and then there was just spots, and it was fun. There was a spot where Mysterioso did a springboard moonsault, landed on his feet, and then hit a standing moonsault from there, which was really cool. And Bateman, not just the character work. I want to touch upon that because I really think it deserves it. It's so intense. Everything he does, you believe his character would do. Methinks we potentially could have another openweight challenger sometime down the line. Obviously, right now it's with Hiroshi Tanahashi. I would love it if Great-O-Khan, again, hear me out here. If the Great-O-Khan, obviously, again, it's really difficult because we're in a pandemic and it's hard getting these guys over. That's such a big fucking problem. If we didn't have that, it would be very different. But say in 8 months' time, whoever's the never openweight champion, and you have Bateman come in and challenge, I'd believe that kind of sadistic style where, Ishii's just punched him in the corner, he's there laughing, sticking his tongue out like what you got, kind of a Suzuki-esque type match they could have, and I'd really be game for that. Clearwater hit a nice pop-up spine buster, which got a 2. Brody King got the hot tag, he cleared house. Regal Twins with a double tope, Barrett Brown with a gorgeous, awesome inverted Canadian Destroyer, big fan of that, and Bateman with a spinning tombstone, a big fan of that as well, which got the win. Awesome looking one, I mean awesome. Okada-esque was how, and I'm not just saying that, check it out, even if there's just highlights on their YouTube channel or highlights on some Twitter feed, check out that spinning tombstone because it's really fucking good. And big compliment coming here. This dude character's great, and I can see him killing it in the Japanese version, if you will, of New Japan, the Japanese brand of New Japan. I could see Bateman killing it. I really could. I could see him having absolutely great time over there. I really could. Just absolute phenomenal. And they did backstage comments with Bateman and his team. Bateman says, I'd done the heavy lifting, but you boys did all right. Gave them all fist bumps, and then this creepy wink at the camera. And where his contacts are in, his eyes are bright white. That wink was fucking sketchy. And I'm just praying here on New Japan Strong now, doing storylines quite a lot, which I'm a fan of. And the reason why I didn't watch back in the day was because there was no continuality when it comes to the stories. But here, there's real stories starting to develop, especially with the Moxley stuff. So hopefully they kind of go with that format and go with it and give Bateman something to sink his teeth into. Imagine Bateman against Kenta. Or Bateman up against Tonga Leo. Or anything. They could do anything. So many options. But the guy's really great. And if you haven't seen him before, definitely check him out, because it was so entertaining to watch him. Then we go to the main event of the show. We had TJP against Rey Horus. And this one on paper looks fucking tasty. If you're a fan of I'm not even going to say independent wrestling, because I kind of don't like to pigeonhole these boys in there. But you got TJP in Impact Wrestling, who's doing a great job. You got Rey Horus is doing stuff in Ring of Honor, and he's just recently wrestled Dragon Lee for the TV title on an episode of ROH TV. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and it was a banger. And the fact that on New Japan Strong you have an Impact guy, Impact talent, against a Ring of Honor talent is fucking incredible. Who would have ever thought that? This time last year, on a weekly New Japan Pro Wrestling show based in America every single week, 52 weeks a year. That's magic. That's absolutely magic. Obviously some great tech work from the start, and I love how we went from seeing the young lions, just go from the fundamental basics to kind of the new fresh talent that's high flying, a bit of powerhouse, some great character work, and then you just get to 2 veterans like these two. It's just it's a great format of the show and great card layout. Horus did this sick tope con hilo over the buckle. TJP with applying abdominal stretch and then flipping whilst holding that stretch on into like a abdominal stretcher bomb-esque type move, which got an air fall, super awesome. And then a Horus with this twisting sunset flip bomb off the top. Brutal landing for TJP. Great finish. Gonna hurt in the morning, but fuck me, that was fun. Just great match. I don't know. I wish they had a bit more time. I wish the show was an hour in length rather than 50 and give them an extra 10 minutes. But that's just me really enjoying the match and disappointed it finished. Also, I'd have liked it to have kind of something on the line, and I think that's a problem. There's kind of nothing on the line with these matches, but hopefully with the US title hopefully coming back to New Japan Strong full time, whether it'll be Moxley retaining and sticking around and doing stuff regularly on New Japan Strong, because obviously he doesn't have to fly over, or Kenta, which a lot of people, including myself, think Kenta winning the belt and having meaningful storylines and having rankings and having tournaments determine number one contenders and doing stuff with the Bullet Club, involving them all and have big time storylines. Hopefully that's the case, because I think that could take this show from just a good solid wrestling show, which is fun to watch. It's only 45 minutes to 50 minutes long. It's nothing, that's gonna quote waste your time. If you don't want to watch a specific match, you skip it. And then you're down to like 20-25 minutes long. But I for one recommend the show. Post-match comment, from Rey Horus. He says he respects TJP, speaks Spanish, no idea what he says, and he touches the New Japan logo. So he probably said something pretty damn cool in Spanish. Get some subtitles on that, boys. And then the show ended with commentary promoting the February 26th match for the IWGP US title between Kenta and Moxley, which was lovely. But as I said, keeping with the topic of making this a weekly TV show, it is a weekly TV show, but making matches that mean something. Like, it's all well and good, TJP and Rey Horus. Yeah, you're going to get a guy like me who looks at that on paper and goes, oh, I'm going to watch that. But there's also people who won't do that. That TJP versus Rey Horus might not be a match that appeals to someone else. But if you had a match where it's, Bateman has been kind of winding Kenta up for the last 2 weeks, and on the third week Kenta can finally get his hands on it, it'll be a match that people will be tuning in and wanting to see and then caring about the stories. So touch wood that does happen. I do have my fingers crossed that we do get continuality in the storylines, and if they don't, then hey, the show's still a fun watch. But I give this show a win because I just thought it was a really fun hour of television. So sound off in the comments your thoughts and opinions on it. Like, comment, smash that subscribe button. This is the third podcast uploaded today for you guys. Going to keep at it tomorrow. Like I said, Giant Bubba's 23rd anniversary from his death memorial show. Looking forward to covering that with Dion. I'm going to try and sort out that live stream so that we can go live. I might have to reinstall and then install this software again. But we move. It's what we have to do. Also, check me out on Twitter at LK_LucasGaming. Also, check out LK Wrestling Pod on Instagram. And the link to the podcast feed if you want to listen to the 25 Years Ago Wrestling podcast on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, Anchor, fucking wherever you listen to your podcast, it'll be on there. But thank you regardless for checking this show out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the New Japan Strong and enjoyed this review. I've been your host LK. Make sure you stay safe, stay well, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.